Most men believe that women select partners primarily based on appearance or wealth. However, that's not the full story. Women don't always choose the best man. They often go for the one who resonates with their deepest instincts and emotions, trust, instinct, and subconscious feelings. A woman may smile or flirt, but that doesn't guarantee you're the one she's chosen. Attraction doesn't equate to selection, and attention doesn't mean commitment. Women observe quietly, testing without any warnings, and they make choices long before they communicate them. This explains why you might have been ghosted after what seemed like a perfect date, or why she lost interest despite your efforts. It's not that you weren't enough. Rather, you weren't aware of what her instincts were truly seeking. This discussion will explore what genuinely drives a woman's choice, not just what she claims to desire, but how her biology, emotions, and subconscious mind respond. If you're tired of guessing and want to transition from being the guy she enjoys to the one she commits to, stay tuned. Understanding the 5 unspoken rules of female selection will not only help you attract women, but will also bring the right ones, those who respect, desire, and choose you willingly, not out of desperation, but because you became the man who doesn't have to chase. Women prefer men who make them feel secure enough to let go, rather than men who merely seek to control. The average man assumes that women desire emotional safety, often confusing it with gentleness. In truth, she seeks a leader, a man who remains composed in chaos, sharp under pressure, and calm during stress. Such a man doesn't falter when tested. He stays focused and grounded, allowing her to relax into her feminine energy. As Machiavelli famously stated, it is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman. This suggests that feminine energy yields not to predictability, but to grounded dominance. Imagine being at a social event where she observes you for the first time. You're not loud or seeking her validation. Instead, you engage calmly, listen intently, and move with purpose. Other men might be vying for her attention, but you maintain an air of indifference. She senses this, perhaps without knowing why, but it piques her curiosity. If you're in a relationship and she raises a concern, say about an ex, reacting defensively can erode her trust in your leadership. Instead, if you remain composed, breathe deeply, and listen, even if she expresses strong emotions, she feels anchored. She's testing whether you can handle her without losing yourself. Train your nervous system. Powerful men react less and respond more. When emotions escalate, slow your breath, control your body, and speak less. Let your presence communicate what words cannot. A woman doesn't fall for a man who panders to her emotions. She is attracted to one who remains steadfast amidst them. As Machiavelli might say, you cannot control the storm, but you can learn to stand still within it. Women also choose men who keep them curious. Machiavelli believed in control through perception. Often, appearances matter more than reality because people act based on their beliefs. The same principle applies to attraction. Women don't fall in love with what they comprehend, but with what they find intriguing. The more predictable you are, the less powerful you seem to her. However, the more she has to contemplate your thoughts, intentions, and next moves, the more her imagination connects to you. When you first meet her, maintain your composure, speak with pauses, listen more than you talk, and occasionally disappear, not out of disrespect, but to maintain focus. Avoid overwhelming her with texts and let the tension build. Now she's left wondering, where is he? What's he thinking? Who is he with? You've become a puzzle she wants to solve, which is a position of power. In a relationship, avoid feeling the need to report every detail, as if talking to a superior. Instead, set aside time for your own goals, keeping a part of yourself sacred and untouchable. She knows you care, but she also senses your independence, which keeps her engaged. Moreover, don't reveal everything. Let her experience everything. Attraction thrives on tension, not clarity. Allow her to wonder about your thoughts, where your focus lies, and your next actions. Never feel obligated to explain your worth. Let your actions reveal it gradually. Women are drawn to men who are desired by others. Machiavelli believed that power isn't just about what you possess. It's about how others perceive you. Women don't choose men in isolation. They often base their decisions on how the world reflects on you. If you're unnoticed by others, you'll likely be overlooked by her too. However, if people respect, talk about, and admire you, something changes in her perception. Suddenly, you're not just a man. You're a coveted prize. If you enter a new space and others acknowledge your presence, you speak with confidence, and people respond positively, she will notice. If you walk with purpose and another woman compliments you, she senses that you are desired by others, which enhances your value in her eyes. When in a relationship, don't allow complacency to soften you. Instead, keep evolving, physically, socially, and mentally, so that you remain respected outside the relationship. Other women may still find you appealing, and friends seek your counsel. You don't need to flaunt anything, simply maintain your stature, and she will feel fortunate to have you, realizing she must work to keep your attention. To further enhance your appeal, cultivate quiet power. Focus on building your reputation, your physique, and your purpose, not for admiration, but to create an irresistible gravitational force. A man who commands respect doesn't need to seek attention, it finds him. As Machiavelli stated, it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. In relationships, this means earning admiration first and letting love follow. Women also choose men who lead emotionally. Machiavelli taught that true power lies not in issuing commands, but in setting the emotional tone. A woman is always observing to see if you remain grounded when emotions rise. The man who anchors her emotionally becomes her prime choice. If you're single, she may act playfully one moment and be distant the next, testing your steadiness. Many men chase harder when she pulls away, mirroring her emotional state. But you? You maintain your pace, calm, focused, and amused. You flirt without desperation, and you guide her energy, leading her mood without her even realizing it. In a relationship, when she initiates a heated discussion during dinner, remain level-headed. Don't raise your voice or retreat into silence. Instead, stay centered. By holding your ground, she feels safer, not because you agree with her, but because you remain unaffected by the chaos. When emotions rise, choose not to match them. Instead, model what peace looks like. Machiavelli warned, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." When chaos arises, don't wait for peace. Be the calm she seeks to submit to. Lastly, women choose men who are unafraid to walk away. Machiavelli understood that the strongest ruler is one who doesn't cling to power. Real power belongs to those willing to lose everything except their sense of self. In love, a woman may appreciate your loyalty, but she will only respect your boundaries. She observes whether you will betray those limits to keep her close. If you're single, you may notice her inconsistency, one day warm, the next cold. When she flakes or tests your patience, don't over-explain or chase her. Simply withdraw without drama or resentment. Suddenly, she realizes you are different, not chasing her, but pursuing your own truth. In a relationship, if she disrespects the standards you've set, resist the temptation to raise your voice or dwell on your pain. Just pull back your presence. This time, don't return. No man is more feared than one who walks away without fear. Another effective strategy is to detach your identity from peace. If she repeatedly crosses your boundaries, don't argue. Exit the situation out of self-respect. As Machiavelli would suggest, if being loved requires self-abandonment, then being feared is the only honorable path. The man who cannot Be controlled is the one she will never forget. If you've made it this far, you've already done what many men shy away from, confronting your own truths and stepping out of your comfort zone into something real. Here's something you won't forget. A woman doesn't choose based on logic. She chooses with her body, emotions, and instincts. She senses your energy before she even comprehends it, and most men remain confused throughout their lives because they never grasp the rules. She may never articulate them, but now you do. You see beyond the surface, the words, the smiles, the attention, and have stepped out of the fog that keeps average men chasing validation, trying to prove themselves, hoping to be chosen once. You understand how women truly select partners. You won't chase, over-explain, or perform for approval. You'll lead, filter, observe, and stand firmly in your identity, unwavering against any storm. This isn't about being cold or playing games. It's about strategy, clarity, and quiet power. This is what Machiavelli would admire in a ruler, not brute force, but calm command, control over oneself rather than over others. Once you embrace that power, you stop being chosen and start making choices. The man who commands his space protects his standards and directs his own life, requiring no external validation. She feels this, and if she's the right one, she will follow. If not, you will walk away without hesitation. Women don't choose the loudest, the nicest, or even the richest man. They choose the one who moves with certainty, the one who can be loved but doesn't need love to stand firm. The man who could have her, but never compromises himself to keep her, doesn't just get chosen. He becomes memorable, respected, and desired, even in silence. And from this moment forward, that man is you. One final message for those truly ready to transform their lives, who wish to detach from the 99% and engage in a different game. What I'm developing will change how women perceive you and how you view yourself. So, stay tuned. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Comment, even if it's just a few words. It can help you remember and might assist someone else too. If you enjoyed this content, hit the like button and share it with someone who could benefit from it right now. Trust your instincts. We're all striving to become clearer and more grounded within ourselves. Let's build resilient minds together.